cloudy, kind of snowy day, very late winter now. We live in an area where it was almost 70 degrees the other day, and today it's 35 and snowing. So it is just what it is, and I kind of like it, to be honest. Trying to get adjusted here. So you guys know the rules: no droids, no bounty hunters, no Raylos, no Ray Nobodies, no black pills, no Kyle Ron fans, no sequel trilogy fans. I don't want to hear about Star Wars being dead. That's that's somebody who's not getting everything they want, and just being a whiny bitch, to be honest. And it's a narrative held by way bigger channels than mine, and that they're going to lose the narrative very soon, I think. Anyway, so Entertainment Weekly dropped a really great bunch of pictures of Obi-Wan from Obi-Wan Kenobi. I did a video. I'm just gonna talk about what's in them. The first one, of course, the cover shot. Then we have one of Obi-Wan sitting in a cave. Now, maybe that's his dwelling. I don't know. Entertainment Weekly assumes that is his first dwelling on Tatooine, but I don't think so. I think it might be something else. And then we've got another one where he looks to be, he's cloaked, he's got his brown Jedi robes on, and he looks to be in a big city. Now there's a new planet, so we're world building again, thank God, called Dayu, Daiyu, Dayu. And it's supposed to be like Hong Kong. Very big, flashing lights, crowded, very much a sophisticated metropolis, because Hong Kong really is a sophisticated metropolis. And we've got that, it's gonna happen. So we're gonna have a world building, and we've got Inquisitors. All right, they showed the black woman, Moses, her name is Moses. I can't remember her last name, but Moses. Something or other playing the Inquisitor Riza. And I've already seen the complaint, by the way, the complaining's already starting. With only by seeing the pictures. And it's gonna be female-centric. They show a black female Inquisitor with braids. One. Obi-Wan Kenobi's a guy. Owen Lars is a guy. So I don't know where they got the female-centric thing, but again, this is the narrative. There are people out there who will not want you to enjoy this. And if you did, they're going to yell at you and tell you you're not a Star Wars fan. And they will. Okay, they will. They will. Because what else do they have? They don't. Look, as hard as I work and Doomcock works and Cameron, there are people out there who just don't listen and don't want the bad to go away. It's like a cancer. And if, like negativity is a cancer. All right? It is a cancer. And it is unhealthy, and it is spread all across fandom, Star Wars fandom. There are things you should be negative about. The sequel trilogy, obviously. High Republic, The Acolyte, which, whatever. But there are things that you shouldn't be. Mandalorian, Boba Fett. I'm going to fight for Boba Fett to the day I die. And then after, I will haunt people. And Kenobi. Kenobi looks good. All right? We haven't even seen a trailer. A teaser. And already we're like, because there's a black woman in a prominent role. I sound like an SJW and I'm not. It is just because she's got the role of an Inquisitor doesn't mean the story is about her. Okay, all I saw were guys. We didn't get any look at Vader, Hayden. And we didn't get to see the Grand Inquisitor, who incidentally I believe is being played by a Asian Indian. Okay, come on, guys. All right, you wanted diversity, SJWs. All right, you got a white guy as the hero. Okay, this is going to be very interesting. And then we've got, all right, so we got Reza facing off with Joel Edgerton, who's playing Owen. This looks to be very interesting. I am really excited to see a trailer now. I really think they should drop one. I think it's time to drop a trailer. And the reason why I say this is simply because I'm looking at this thinking, I want to see people have more confidence in it. One of the things I hate, because they're not listening, is when someone says, well, I hope it's good. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Don't say I hope. That's a fucking cop-out. You don't think it's going to be good. You're saying this to placate people who think it's going to be good. Just say it. I don't think it's going to be good. It's going to suck. Okay, so then there's all. It's honest. Being honest is the greatest thing you can be. It's the greatest gift you can give anybody. And if they hate you for it, that's on them. That is on them, not you. My favorite character in Sex and the City is Samantha, because she was honest about Carrie fucking up her life. She was, basically honest with Charlotte being an idiot, and Miranda. Okay, she was honest about who she was, and I think that one of the reasons why she was the most popular character on there is because of that. But in real life, if you are honest with people, you're wrong. You're a black pill. Don't pander to me with I hope so. Obviously, you don't think the show is going to be good. Or you wouldn't be saying I hope so, because that's a weasel. That is a weaseling out. Okay? That is weaseling out. All right? And I hate that. The show looks interesting to me. We've got a new planet to explore, a new cityscape. Obi-Wan looks bedraggled. He's been there for 10 years. Luke is, 11 years old, 10 years old. So we just got to have some hope that it's going to end up going where it needs to go. And, and I want to address the statement, because the more I think about what Vader says to Obi-Wan during the last battle, I'm almost thinking, when I left you, I was but a learner. Now I'm a master. When I left you, I left you. All right. Obi-Wan left him burning on this in the lava of Mustafar. So what does when I left you mean? People aren't thinking about that. When I left you, I was but a learner. That could mean a lot of things. He could actually be talking about his apprenticeship with Darth Sidious. All right, because he's Sidious's willing accomplice. He is Sidious's apprentice, right? So you could actually interpret that, when I left you, I was still an apprentice. Not your apprentice, but an apprentice. Now, when we thought about, when we first watched A New Hope, we thought, okay, he's talking about his apprenticeship to Darth Sidious. But I think that the prequels, without the people bitching about, oh, there's going to be another matchup, blah, blah, blah. Obi-Wan left him. Again, if you don't, honestly, I think the people that are bitching mostly don't like the prequels. But canon says Obi-Wan left him burning in the sand, the lava sand. Okay? So when Vader said, "When I left you, I was but a learner," he could be talking about Sidious. Now I am the master. You gotta remember, the goal of the Sith, one is to have power, the apprentice is to crave power. Okay? When you look at it like that, there are a lot of possibilities for what he's talking about then. Okay? That is a loaded statement. All right? And again, there are people out there that won't listen. You know, they probably didn't sit down and actually study. They probably got, haha, Troy. They probably didn't do very well in reading and literature in school. All right? They didn't understand or comprehend what they were reading. You know, I remember I took a class called The History of Film and Literature. And that Henry, a bunch of English movie books, British literature books, that were turned into movies. A Clockwork Orange, and I had avoided it like the plague. Because I thought it's a horrendous book. It's a horrendous movie. All right. I had to read it in school. I took my classmates' notes in college. I said, I want to look at your notes because I'm not going to read it. The reason why is this. There are some books that aren't, and there are some pieces of art that are not, they're called art. Okay. They are not meant to make you feel better about the world. Yeah, you're right, Carlos. And I look at, like, if you look at the paintings, the Austrian painter Egon Schiele, they're horrifying. They're ugly. They're nasty to look at. Okay. Yes, I also did art history. I did modern art history and then ancient art history. Egon Schiele just was vulgar. Okay, with horrifying, vulgar images, just nasty, disturbing. And you've got A Clockwork Orange, and that book is horrifying. That you look at the writer and go, what the fuck is wrong with you? Seriously, what the hell is wrong with you, dude? It was just, it's barbaric. There's really nothing to learn from that. Oh yeah, Space Window. I think so too. You know, it just so I got my friend's notes. I got a B on the test. It was the lowest score I got on the essays, but I was not gonna watch that movie. I called in sick that day. I didn't go to class, and I didn't read the book because I just no. I don't read to be disgusted. I read to learn. I read to go to a different place. All right. I read to I read. You don't go to an art exhibition to walk out feeling like you need your eyes bleached. You don't read a book feeling like you need your brain bleached. All right. That's just the thing. And there are lots of people that are fascinated with A Clockwork Orange and other works, and I just think they're terrible. But my point is that there were people in the class that watched the movie, read the book, probably stole other people's notes like I did, but they didn't comprehend it. All right, they probably just listened to what the teacher said, wrote it down, and then regurgitated it, which is, my oldest brother likes to talk about college as being a place where you learn to bullshit. And he who bullshits the best is an honor student. Okay, that's truth. All right, there it is. So when I think about that statement, when I left you, I was but a learner. Now I am the Now I am the master. When I left you, well, when did he leave him? All right. Where did he leave him? Because canon says Obi-Wan is the one that picks up Anakin's lightsaber, looks at Anakin and goes and walks away. Okay. And that's the thing here. That's the one of the things that we aren't watching for, we aren't noticing. And I look at people when they complain about this stuff, and I go, you didn't understand. You completely forgot about the prequels. Okay, Obi-Wan left him. All right. So what does when I left you, I was but a learner? Okay, that meant he still felt himself an apprentice to somebody, and it wasn't Obi-Wan. Okay, again, if you take that and look at the background of what's going on, well, what's going on? This is year zero, basically Battle of Yavin, the year of the Battle of Yavin. So he's got about 3 years till he picks up Sidious and tosses him in the garbage. All right. It means to me that Vader is starting to see, because look, Empire Strikes Back, join me and you and I can rule the galaxy as father and son. He's already planning that he's going to get rid of Sidious and be the emperor. All right? So when he says, when I left you, I was but a learner, I think he's talking about Sidious. All right? I think he's talking about Darth Sidious and where he is in his training of the dark side, because it's been 9 years, 10 years since the last time he and Obi-Wan saw each other on Mustafar. Now, there's also another feeling to me that these could all just be Force visions, because they are master and apprentice. Jedis who've had that relationship are connected. So Vader reaching out to the Force to troll Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan reaching out to the Force to troll Vader. Even though Obi-Wan himself feels that, Vader is irredeemable. Okay. This is going to be very interesting. And, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on that I really think that the black pills aren't going to understand, because they don't comprehend things well. I mean, that's really the best way I can describe it, is that there's a comprehension deficit in the Star Wars fan community. And but I look at the pictures and I think they're great. And what I love about it, you can't get more unwoke than have the Inquisitor be a black woman. Okay? They want diversity. There you go. You've got a black woman who's a bad guy and an Asian Indian guy who's a bad guy. Yeah, Troy. And, well, Palpatine basically said that. Okay? So you've got Vader still being, puppy apprentice at this time to Palpatine. And in A New Hope, that doesn't mean necessarily that he is Vader's apprentice. Okay? The images look great. They really do look great. I mean, I cannot wait to see what Dayu looks like, because I've been to, we lived in Seoul, Tokyo. All right, I've been to Tokyo. So I can't wait to see them. All right, I really, really can't wait to see these. It's going to be fabulous. I mean, it's going to be great fun to watch this. Well, the SJWs will, and that's fine. I mean, I want to get into more about the Chapek thing too. Hi. Oh, cool, Ben. That's awesome. JPEG, from what Doomcock said yesterday, JPEG is a Republican. All right, which is good. And he wants to bring Disney back to the center. Fine. He discovered through George W. Bush's PR guy, and I'm going to say it was likely Ari Fleischer who did this, that 57% of the people who use the parks, who use Disney Plus and the studios are nuclear families, normal, traditional, mommy, daddy, kids, okay, with a dog and a cat and maybe a hamster and a rabbit, all right? I mean, that's what that is. So that's a very significant majority of the customers. And they also discovered that the LGBTQ plus alphabet people really don't, they have a lot of buying power, but there aren't many of them. Because in society, for that, sadly for them, there aren't a lot of LGBTQ people, okay, at large. And JPEG, with this in mind, is not going to be budged. You cannot have a very small minority of people demanding that your company change to only cater to them, which is what that very small but very loud minority is trying to do with complaining on Variety. And of course, you've got anonymous employees that don't want their names out there. And I'm pretty sure it's probably everybody from Kennedy and Feige's camp bitching. Okay. What I find fascinating is he did have a meeting with LGBTQ leaders, but the ones that were complaining weren't invited. You know, and I mean, the memo's like, well, you guys have fun with this. You know, bless your hearts. It's fascinating to me watching this, and if they can get Disney back to the center, we'll have a big part of our culture back. I mean, I think that's what people want. My thing with all of this, and I'm looking at, well, she was the one behind that. In fact, Cameron yesterday on Valiant Renegade basically said she probably dictated part of that memo. Okay. She doesn't care. All right. They're there because they want to make money. Period. Full stop. And I'm sorry, dictating to two, let's say you have 20 groups of people. All right. You got 20 groups of people. You know, you know, 18 families, and then maybe a lesbian couple and a gay couple. All right. Who's going to be spending actually more money? The nuclear families, because they've got multiple children. Okay, likely. And I'm going to say this: if you are one of those people who only had one child, if you can have kids, and you only had one, you're not doing the world a favor. Okay, all right. I mean, I do agree with Elon Musk when he says the world is facing a population implosion, or we really are. And as a Catholic, I have to say, have as many kids as you can. All right, have as many kids as you can. Have that quiver full of arrows. Okay, it's very important. I come from a large family, and there are a lot of people out there that give large families shit. I wouldn't have traded it for anything. All right, lots of personalities, lots of love, lots of shit went down. Oh, I know, Troy, and that's the truth too. But as far as buying power, guess what? Traditional families, you still have the most to say about culture. All right, and that goes into what goes on in schools too. All right, so if you have kids and you're not involved with the schools, get involved. Because I've told people who've had kids that have turned out badly. This was your fault. This was your fault. All right? You're so worried about yourself that your kid ended up, getting trampled and turning into that. Okay? That's your fault. It is not Donald Trump's fault. It's not, anybody's fault but yours. All right? Parents are to blame, and for not taking interest in what their kids are doing. All right? I know a lot of families in the military, daddy had to go. Daddy had to go to Afghanistan. Daddy had to go to Iraq. Daddy had to go for a month exercise or 3 weeks exercise with the Rock Marines. All right. It's still, when you're home, be involved. All right. Don't be absentee. And if you're divorced, you better, if you have a good agreement with your ex, be able to have everyday contact with your kid. Call them, hang out with them, take them places for dinner. If your ex-wife, probably be grateful for that. There's no, first off, there's no reason, and I've seen women do this. If I'm with somebody who got divorced and she's got her kids with her and she starts saying shitty things about the dad, and I know the dad and I know he's not shitty, I probably will stop being friends with her. All right? All right? The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. And there's vast responsibility. And even if you're not together, your kids are still the most important thing in your lives. So if you say shitty things about the dad, who's not a shitty person, in front of your kids, you're a shitty person. Okay? All right? And I've seen a lot of women do that. And it really hurts your child. It really does. And it leaves a mark. Okay. All right, Joker voice. But as far as what is going on with the Disney issue and Chapek, I think we're on the right track. I'm really excited about the next year or so. And, oh, I know, and we can tell that, Troy. My intuition says we've been sitting here waiting for the next shoe to drop. And my intuition says that the Acolyte's going to get dropped. I don't know when, I don't know how. Now, yesterday I did say that yesterday in the morning sometime, Leslie Hedlund added production coordinator and a casting director. That's meaningless. With Disney, that's meaningless. Okay? You've got a company that very happily canceled a show that was going into production with that prequel to Beauty and the Beast. LeFou comes out of the closet, which is what it was going to be. No one wants to see that. I don't want, Beauty and the Beast is one of my favorite animated films. I love that film. And I don't want to see that. Why? But again, it's a small minority that finds itself in positions of creative power that instead of making good stuff for everybody, they go in the narcissistic, nihilistic way and project themselves in everything. So yeah, I don't really think that the Acolyte's going to go anywhere. But that's the only real thing, that I've been saying. Kathleen Kennedy was mentioned today. The Oscars are are saying that they're not going to have the editing Oscar be public, and the original score. All right, let's talk about editing. Movies are made in the editing room. Okay, they're made in the editing room. Star Wars was saved in the editing room. All right, we've got extremely famous editors, Walter Murch, Marshall Lucas, and others who are, as far as I'm concerned, Hall of Fame inductees in film. They're the ones that make the movie watchable, okay? And then we've got original score. You imagine Star Wars without John Williams? If you watch the movie without the soundtrack, you're just gonna be like, this sucks. Indiana Jones without John Williams. Jurassic Park, The Patriot without John Williams. Gladiator without Hans Zimmer. Okay? Braveheart without, God, what was his name? And he died in the same kind of airplane accident that John Denver did. Braveheart's soundtrack, all right? The soundtrack is the heartbeat, the backbeat, and the melody of the story, okay? Without it, it all just kind of falls apart. It is, in Star Wars, it is the refrain, it is the rhyme. And the idea that, oh yeah, Ben, you're right. The idea that they're going to hide the people that cut the movie together, put the movie together, and the people who actually score the movie is bullshit. All right, now, hairstyling, costuming, okay, fine. I mean, they're important, but you can't leave out editing, and you can't leave out the score. And Steven Spielberg and Kathleen Kennedy and somebody else basically said they can't do this. So I think they're probably going to have at least some of those Oscars televised. Am I going to watch it? No. But still, the people who work so hard at getting the story edited for screen, and the people who put the heartbeat, the melody to the movie should be respected, I think. I don't understand. What they're worried about is people get bored and quit watching. Make it fun. Bring back Billy Crystal. Revive Bob Hope. If you want to watch something really funny, go on YouTube here and find Bob Hope's hosting the Academy Awards. He roasts everybody. And they just had a blast. They didn't take themselves seriously. Stop taking yourselves seriously. The fact that they're going to have Amy Schumer as one of the hosts, to me, is sickening. Vile, disgusting cow of a chick. And Wanda Sykes. Vile, horrible woman. I'm not going to watch that. I would, why not be brave and have Ricky Gervais do it? Why not? They take themselves too seriously now. They didn't like what he had to say because, again, if you're honest, people will hate you for that. Okay? They will hate you for that. All right? I see it because I'm honest. People don't like me. Fine. I don't care. you're not going to listen, fine, okay? My advice is to wait. My advice about Kenobi, wait till the show comes on, all right? Wait till we see a trailer. Wait till we see it going and doing things, and we have an idea of where the story might be going. Okay, but don't sit there, look at these. I mean, look, pictures can tell a story, but they're a split second in time, so they don't tell the whole story. We don't know what's going on. But don't fall into the trap of saying it sucks just because you hate Disney. All right. To me, I'm sorry if people feel that way. It's intellectually dishonest to feel that way. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Obi-Wan looks like a pretty good show. I know the Book of Boba Fett had problems, but the story was good. I knew where they were going with it. Don't know. Anyway, I just want to talk a little bit about that. And, I think we've got a lot of really good stuff to look forward to. But keep praying that Acolyte gets canceled, because I think it will. This Steph signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.